live for the Sunset Flip. But not just any Sunset Flip.
Oh, no.
Today, it's going to be video games. With your man, the host and a half, Roughhouse Matthews, alongside... Jim, what are you doing?
I am drinking a fine Arizona Southern-style sweet tea.
Jared.
Probably the most value-conscious drink out there. It's only 99 cents for this giant tube of refreshing liquid.
Refreshing liquid aside, folks, thanks for joining us tonight. For tonight, normally we talk about professional wrestling and mixed martial arts and ourselves, but tonight we're going to talk about something that you fans might be a little more interested in right now, and it's the new WWE Raw vs. SmackDown 2009 for the PlayStation 3. And let me tell you what, Jared, you talk about a complete wrestling game, this one's it.
Now, first of all, let me throw something out there. Usually I buy SmackDown vs. Raw on Xbox. And for us wrestling fans, this is like our Madden every year.
Pretty much.
Now, PS3 got themselves a little exclusive. They got this nice little special edition set with a steel cage top to it. I'm sorry. Figured your head would be able to take that. A special high-def Blu-ray with several different matches. If you want to read a few of those off for the fine folks at home.
And again, folks, just so you know, this is only available on the PlayStation 3 version. You get a special limited edition, and I mean real limited edition. Like this thing's going on eBay for like $50. And where it's got basically some of the highlights from the year from Raw, SmackDown, and it's actually got a WrestleMania match on it. It's got 7 big matches on it, plus a behind-the-scenes feature on the actual creation of the game, like the Inferno match.
Yes.
Which is new to the SmackDown vs. Raw franchise, the Inferno match. Not to mention the tag team matches, the backstage brawl. We got the ladder match, the TLC match, First Blood, the ECW Extreme Rules match. Probably the biggest SmackDown vs. Raw game in the series, I would say.
Now, a couple of those matches were some previous ones. The biggest ones, the backstage brawls, have been brought back. That was something we haven't seen since the old WCW video game days. The Inferno match, which we'll get to in a little bit, first time in a video game, and it actually focused on the tag team. Now, I didn't get a chance to show you this when you were playing through it earlier, just for the review. On the single player, instead of having a whole year-long season like they did in the past, they now have a very focused Royal Rumble to WrestleMania with a single character as the focus, and there's 6 different ones to pick from. It actually does play out like a lot of the WWE plotlines do, and some of them actually played out better. Don't ask me how that happened. Now, it's the first time they've had a co-op single-player storyline, which I guess is not a single-player storyline, it's a co-op. However, it does focus on the tag team mechanics and all that other fun stuff. Anyway, that's the technical part. Go ahead.
Now, let's get to the stuff that you're concerned about, which is the gameplay. A wrestling game is all about... Jared.
I can't help it. It's so good.
Sorry, folks. Any wrestling game, especially one as good as WWE SmackDown vs. Raw, the focus is on the action. And again, this wrestling game packs more game modes and more characters than any series, than any wrestling game ever created. Earlier, Jared and I tested out the Inferno match. And let's just say it was pretty hot stuff. Where yours truly, Roughhouse Matthews, took Ric Flair to defend the classic WCW World title against Jared Shapiro with the Legend Killer Randy Orton. And as you can see in the footage here, the graphics are intense. Now, we're playing it on the Xmedia HDMI setup at 1080p on the PlayStation 3. So the graphics are about as good as it could possibly get in any video game. As you can see here, ouch, those blistering shots from Ric Flair. Woo! You can hear the crowd really getting into it. The crowd chants. They interact with your character depending on who you're playing as. Now, like Randy Orton doing the TKO right here, you can see the screen just shatter from the impact.
That's RKO. How can you mess up the move, man? It hurts. He's the Legend Killer. You're just sad because you lost. Look at that footage. There you are, burning in flames. It's awesome.
Okay, so maybe I lost the Inferno match. But SmackDown vs. Raw, you can keep the title, put the title on the line. And Jared was gracious enough to give me a rematch for the title in the ladder match.
He cheated.
Hey, it's not cheating if you win. As you can see right here, it hurts my feelings just watching it again. Ric Flair taking it to the Legend Killer, beating him with a ladder, beating him with a ring bell, beating him with a chair. This was an epic, epic match, Jared. I'd say probably one of the best of my video game career.
Yeah, that could have been the best ladder match of all time.
Too bad it's not real.
Oh, well.
But all that matters is at the end, the Nature Boy himself Woo! With his arm raised, taking the belt back home.
And now a couple of the other little side items in the game. Of course, it's not just the exhibition matches. As I mentioned earlier, you do have your Road to WrestleMania matches. There is also a tournament mode. You can run your own King of the Ring or whatever. You can put a title on the line, however you want to do it. And with the Create a Wrestler, there is now not just Create a Wrestler, but Create a Finisher, which allows you to set up different stages of the animation and finally have your own finisher. Since they don't have Stone Cold in the game, you can now make him.
And you can also make everyone's favorite wrestler, Roughhouse Matthews, and recreate his infamous panic attack move. Well, not that I did that, but you could if you wanted to.
Panic attack move?
There's a reason they call it panic attack.
Oh boy. And there were some complaints about the game that Mr. Matthews had, if you want to talk about those. Because I'm sure there are people out there that are interested in this.
Okay, quite honestly, folks, the game is great. I was very skeptical of it at first. The only thing that I hate about it is they took away the GM mode, which was in SmackDown vs. Raw 2008. So if you're looking for wrestling simulation on the business end of it, then maybe you might want to check out Total Extreme Wrestling from Grey Dog Software at TotalExtremeWrestling.com. But if you're looking for the most action-packed, bone-crushing, spine-rattling wrestling that you're going to find on a console, there's only one choice, and it's SmackDown vs. Raw 2009. Available at retailers such as GameStop and Best Buy near you, or online at WWEshop.com.
And I'm going to have to rate it on the Jared scale of wrestling awesomeness. 5 spine busters out of 5.
You heard it from the man himself, folks. 5 out of 5 spine busters. Live from the Sunset Flip. We'll see you next time.
Game on.